What up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing a horoscope for all of us, a general horoscope cosmic weather report for the month of November 2019. And in the month of November, I will have a couple of classes, a couple of astrology webinars coming up. So I will let you guys know the details on those as they come in, as I gather them. And also, I do have November horoscopes by sign available for purchase on my website, which is indigomoon.astrology.com. It's on the horoscopes page, so you can go and check those out there. I'll leave some links in the description box and maybe also in the comments for everything. And if you have donated to my channel via my PayPal, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you don't know how much you saved my life. Help me get my life, child. No, but really, thank you guys so much. It really helps me out tremendously to be able to have more free time to put out more content. So thank you tremendously from the bottom of my heart. All right, guys, so let's see what's going on in the month of November for everybody. What's the forecast? What's the 411? What's going on? So I do have a generic chart up here just to kind of point out the planetary activity. Okay, so just this is not like anybody's birth chart or anything. But we do still have the sun in Scorpio for a good part of November, like the first half of November. The sun is in Scorpio. So it's still Scorpio season. But like I said before, you know how we do here. We know that when the other planets move through the signs too. So we already have like Mercury and Venus. They've been hanging out in the sign of Scorpio already along with the sun. So, you know, like it's already been Scorpio season in effect, but it is in full effect when the sun enters. So yeah, we have the sun in Scorpio. Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio. We start out the month of November with Mercury like beginning its retrograde period because it went retrograde on October 31st on Halloween. How was you guys' Halloween, by the way? I love Scorpio season, not just because it's my rising sign and it makes me come alive, but I just like Halloween and the fall and like pumpkin patches and haunted houses and mazes and all that cool stuff. And yes, the costumes. Hello. What did you guys dress up as? Let your girl know. But anyway, that's when Mercury went retrograde, the very last day of October. So we start out November with it in full effect as well. So what does this mean for all of us? Well, pretty much, a lot of publications that are not non-astrology publications will put out there a lot of posts about Mercury retrograde and tell you need to take the proper precautions with traffic, with your vehicles, your phones and your devices may go haywire. Communication will be whack. Okay. So all of that stuff. Yes, please just slow down when you're driving. Mercury is spinning backwards, or giving the illusion of spinning backwards, that is. And, you know, so imagine everything that Mercury is ruled by kind of being a little backwards, right? So like the way that we think, our thinking processes, that means processing data and logic, not emotion or feelings. It's data and logic. And, you know, so information, communicating that information electronically or verbally, it doesn't matter, or written. All of it can be jacked up when Mercury is retrograde if you don't slow down and go over everything a few times before you actually submit it or say it or whatever. So that's what you need to do. And yes, your devices, even little gadgets you have, if you have an electronic pencil sharpener or you have like, I don't know, like an electronic wine bottle opener at home, just any little gadgets and big gadgets too, like your vehicle. Yes. Make sure that everything is properly operating before Mercury goes retrograde. Now, you guys know from following me that I really do talk about Mercury being in shadow period. That means the 2 weeks before it goes retrograde, like maybe even like 2.5 to 3 weeks. Okay. Just observing from real life and experiencing real life. It's not always exact, but the shadow period is when Mercury is beginning to slow down. And so its orbit is not regular even during that time, meaning all the stuff that Mercury rules that I mentioned it's not regular. It's not operating regularly or smoothly. Mercury also rules our mail, like receiving mail deliveries, packages, whatever. And so people can have mishaps with mail, ordering things online and receiving them. Yeah, all of that stuff. I'm not saying to completely put them to a halt during Mercury retrograde or shadow period, but if you can do it, just to avoid disaster. But if you can't avoid doing any of that stuff, then just make sure that you have the right address, that, you know, the sender of whatever you're receiving has the correct address. Just take it slow, take the proper precautions is what I'm saying. Okay. So yeah, Mercury is retrograde at the beginning of the month until like the middle of the month. I'll give the dates in date order. So, speaking of date order, let's start off with also November 1st. We have Venus moving into Sag. I did this chart for early November 1st, so that's why she's still showing up in Scorpio here. But we know the planets move every second of the day. So, Venus is moving into Sagittarius November 1st, and she will be there through the 25th. So, what does that mean? Venus in Sag, yo, she is one of the most fun Venuses ever. I love Venus and Sagittarius. I love Venus and Sagittarius people. I love Venus and Sagittarius energy in general when it's in the air, because even if you're not a Sag or anything, you will still feel like we all still feel the energies of the planets in these signs to some degree in our lives. So Venus and Sag, she wants to travel. She wants to go. It's so funny because I have a coworker at one of like 50 jobs that I have. And she randomly asked me yesterday, do you read birth charts? I think I may have mentioned to her before that I do tarot cards, like kind of low key. And so I don't know, because I was wondering, how do you know I do birth charts? Because I never discussed any of this stuff at that job that any of my outside other stuff. I was like, yeah, I do read birth charts. I actually do that like on the side, and she's like, oh my God, please explain my birth chart to me. And this girl, she has tattoos that have arrows on them on her arms. That's a dead giveaway of a Sagittarius person if they have an arrow, because that's one of the symbols for Sag. One of the symbols for Sag is an archer, like a centaur, half man, half horse, that shoots arrows, then archery. So a lot of Sag people, they are into archery, they are into horses, stuff like that. And I overheard her trying to schedule something to do with archery. And then she mentioned to me yesterday that she used to ride horses, and she has these arrow tattoos, and she's super fiery, and she only has dogs, no kids. And I'm like, every time I'm around her, her energy screams Sagittarius to me. But I never asked her birthday or anything, because I'm there to do that job and not this one, so I try you guys, but sometimes I just buckle down and give in, and I'm like, okay, I can't take it anymore, what's your birthday? But I hadn't done that with her yet. But anyhow, she asked me randomly yesterday, hey, do you read birth charts? I was like, yeah. And she pulled hers up, and I'm like, okay, so where's your Sag at? Right away I found Venus and Sagittarius. Oh, and she travels a lot. So anyway, the girl I just described, she has Venus in Sagittarius. So we will all be feeling a little bit like my little office homegirl, Maybe we will want to do some adventurous stuff. Even if you don't like archery or horseback riding, maybe you might become interested in it for this short little couple weeks, or curious about it. Or if it's not those things, Sag in general is about adventure, travel, movement. So anything that's outside the norm for you that you find quote unquote adventurous, you may want to do. You may want to explore foreign countries, foreign lands, or just foreign culture, like in your own home, by vicariously tapping into other cultures by watching TV shows, reading books, trying some different food from another country or culture, or maybe getting out to cultural events during Venus and Sag. Even if it's not like foreign, just like cultural events in general, to where you're out and you're around like one of those events, like say for example, that have different vendors of different types of products or foods or whatever. yo, just go out and explore. It's all about exploring. Now, Venus does rule love, and people will feel like super mad adventurous in love. Maybe not even want to stay in one spot, because remember, Sag is the half animal galloping off, okay, once their adventure is over. So some people may feel like that in love, like, woohoo, this was fun, okay, bye. And then they disappear, and then you're like, what happened to the magic? And they're like, what? It was fun for a little bit. Thanks for the adventure. Thanks for the ride, buddy, or ma'am, or whatever, I've galloped off to my next adventure. I don't understand why you're crying. Why are you crying? So that's what Venus and Sag can be like in love sometimes. Trust me, I've dealt with some Sag men's, and you guys are definitely some wild, adventurous creatures, but you do gallop off and pull weird ghosting moves and then be like, what? I don't understand. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully nobody taps too much into that. But if you're not trying to be tied down at all, you just want to gallop around and have a good time, Venus and Sag is your time. And also Venus and Sag is adventurous and loves to drink, loves to eat, drink, and be merry. Sagittarius season includes the holiday of Thanksgiving that we have in the US, at least. So people who have this energy, or when we have this energy bestowed upon us, whether it's in the sun in Sagittarius during quote unquote Sagittarius season, or even Venus in Sag, we will be feeling that eat, drink, and be merry, do things in excess. So people will be doing things like drinking in excess, maybe eating, maybe spending money. There's plenty for everyone. Venus is ruled by Jupiter, and I always call him lucky Uncle Jupiter, who just throws gold coins at you just because. So people will be feeling that with their money, just throwing it around. And it's also the season of shopping for Christmas. People do that months ahead of time now, like crazy people. But there will be sales and stuff. Anyway, I can go on and on and on. Okay, but Venus and Sag is a lot of fun, fiery, adventurous energy that we will all be feeling to some degree. Okay, so November 1st she enters, and then November 25th she exits very quickly, I must say. Very fitting. So on the 5th of November we have Mars squaring Pluto. Where's he at? Mars squaring Pluto, and it's exact on November 5th. This is between Libra and Capricorn. Libra is about fairness. It's very chill energy. It likes to just get along with everyone and doesn't like conflict. But Mars is about conflict, and Pluto can cause some energy that's very frustrating, because you have to do something, you have to transform. It's intensity. So there's a lot of intensity in the air when Mars is squaring Pluto. People may have all this inner frustration that just pops off. Okay, the lid pops off when Mars is square Pluto. It's you know what, that's it, I can't take it anymore. I have something to say. Or Mars is a planet of action, and Pluto is a planet of really just intensely doing things. So intense actions may be performed, which are very Libran terms for some might be wanting to fight, okay, and cause some damage and some bruising, some real damage to people. People can get violent when Mars is square Pluto. And even though this is in peace-loving Libra, it's still Mars. So it could possibly cause some stuff like that. I'm sorry, just one sec. I had to mute that because I don't have time for fancy editing right now, even though I am a fancy editor at heart. Okay. But anyway, Mars square Pluto, just look out around the 5th for people just kind of being extra angry and frustrated and letting things get to a point to where they just break out and they're like, you know what? I can't take this anymore. And just, I don't know, even if they're not violently hitting anybody or punching anybody, socking anybody up, maybe they will feel like throwing things or pounding on desks or punching walls or something. So it is that frustrating energy. However, the good side, I always got to find the good and the bad, right? The positive to Mars square Pluto is maybe if you have some actions that need to be performed that you've been kind of sitting on for a minute. Because look, just being honest, keeping it 100, Mars is in its fall in Libra. Like that means it doesn't do what it's supposed to do when it's in Libra. It means that it's one of the laziest Mars signs. It is. It is. Mars in Libra is too busy sitting there trying to enjoy itself because it's ruled by Venus, which is very chill energy, and also trying to decide, should I take action or should I not? Should I or should I not? Well, look, like the Red Man song from back in the day, it's time for some action. Okay, when Mars is square Pluto. So you may get frustrated to the point where it's more like an inner battle, an inner conflict, like, I need to take action. I can't sit on this anymore. So that's what Mars square Pluto can bring, and finally get you off your buttocks to take some action that you need to take, or to defend yourself. Maybe you've been a pushover. Libra energy can be very pushover because it just wants to, can we all just get along? Kumbaya, peace and love. I love everybody. But this may be like, you know what? There's actually this mother that's been bothering me and harassing me, and I can't stand him. Or her. So I'm going to let them know, you cannot push me over anymore. Okay, I'm standing up and I am about to knock somebody out if they don't stop. So it could bring people to that point. And sometimes it's necessary. I'm not going to say it's all bad and you should just hide and be peaceful. No, sometimes it's necessary. Okay. So that's Mars square Pluto. Just look out for others. If you are like just a peaceful person, you don't have no beef with anybody. You're not trying to, you know what I mean? Like other people might be like, so like a little extra on the 5th. Okay. So on the 8th, this is when the sun is in a trine aspect to Neptune. This is very minor, and this is a beautiful aspect. I'll talk more about it in the weeklies. But Mars trine Neptune, the sun trine Neptune is will feel a little bit more in tune with spirituality, with things that Neptune rules. It's very spiritual because it's in water signs. Scorpio is not spiritual per se, but it dives deep, and it believes and it rules the occult and stuff like that, meaning occult knowledge like numerology, tarot, astrology, palmistry, Reiki, like anything that's like energy based and very healing and transformational. Scorpio rules that stuff. So, and Neptune is like believing, and it's spiritual. It's like, there's more beyond just the physical that you see in front of you. So, this is a beautiful blend of energies that can make us more spiritual during that time, explore spirituality and creativity and different stuff. So it's an easy going energy amongst some of the tension that may still be going on, that same week with the Mars and Pluto square. On the 12th, this is when we have a full moon in Scorpio. So that means the sun is, full moon in Taurus. Oh my God, Mercury is retrograde in my sign. So please forgive my errors. But it's the sun is in Scorpio, the moon is in Taurus. There we go. And guess what? It's at 19 degrees. So the moon is in Taurus, an earth sign, the sun is Scorpio, and a water sign. So with this full moon, we will have a beautiful trine aspect to Neptune, and we will have beautiful trine aspects to Pluto and Saturn. So those planets are helping out with the full moon. Now, in general, a full moon in Taurus involves finances, money, value, worth, your self-worth, being independent materially and financially versus being codependent. Okay. And then we've got, Pluto and Saturn, very powerful planets, which make you push through no matter what. And then we've got Neptune, which is like believe and beyond the, and that your dreams can happen and, stuff like that. So pretty much maybe there's some financial changes that can happen for people, just speaking in general, but in the monthlies for your sign, I go in detail about how this affects your sign. Okay. And I will talk about this in the weeklies, but we do have a full moon in Taurus this month. So it could be about like your worth, your value, and like, pushing through and not letting people, take you for granted or give you a sob story all the time and, oh, I need this from you, I need that from you because and then you give and give and give. Now this full moon might be like, you know what, I need to look out for me and mine. Okay. Because Taurus energy on a lower vibration could be kind of stingy. It can, about its material things, about its money, food, material items that it likes. Taurus energy could be like that, looking out for oneself and one's like property, personal property, big or small. So a full moon in Taurus can be about that. Like, look, I give and give and give. You take, and look, I need to look out for mines. Okay, so I'm going to be stingy now. Or maybe it can encourage less stinginess because Neptune is involved, which is very giving. Okay, very like not even seeing the bad in people and just give, so whatever. But that's the full moon on the 12th. We have on the 13th, Mercury is trine Neptune and Mercury's retrograde. And this is a repeat transit. So October 15th, we had Mercury trine Neptune. And now on November 13th, we do, but it's retrograde. And then on the 28th of November, we will have this again, moving forward, but still in shadow. So this is a beautiful aspect, and I'll talk more about it in the weeklies. But once again, it promotes creativity, spirituality, for your mind to go more towards those things. But also it can make you kind of a little lost, a little fog, have like brain fog about things and confused about things. So just be forewarned, and like lose track of stuff, lose track of time, lose track of your credit card, your wallet, your phone, your glasses, your keys. Okay. So around the middle of the month, just be cautious with that extra. Okay. And then on the 14th, Venus is square Neptune. And this is another transit that can cause like loss of material items and confusion when it comes to money or love or something. It's great for creativity and escapism, healthy escapism, but also whatever your methods of release and, letting go and escaping are. No judgment here. Just be careful though. You'll be wanting to tap more into that. I would say if you're dating and you meet somebody new around the middle of the month, just be aware that you may not see them clearly. You'll see them with like sparkles, and they're like glowing golden with this beautiful like smoke around them. And you're like, oh my God, they're the most beautiful, gorgeous being ever. But then once all this stuff clears, like towards the end of the month and into December, and when stuff moves into Capricorn, which doesn't play any of that Neptunian nonsense, okay, you may see a different person. All right, so just a fair warning with that around the middle of the month. So on the 19th, this is when Mars moves into Scorpio. Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars, meaning back in the day before they discovered Pluto, they counted Mars as the ruler of Scorpio. Okay, so Mars has two rulers. Scorpio has two rulers, ancient ruler Mars and modern day ruler Pluto. So Mars is technically kind of in one of its home signs and one of its home energies. And we say that because Scorpio energy is very passionate, and when a Scorpio wants something or someone, they get this piercing like stare in their eyes, and they only see their target. They have tunnel vision. They don't see anyone or anything else. They become obsessed, and then they just go after that. May not be as fast as Mars in Aries, its other home sign, but it's like, I want you and I'm going to get you, and like I'm going to creep up on you. So that's how Mars in Scorpio can act at times. That's why we say it's in its home sign. So yes, very passionate, very like focused, laser sharp focus when Mars is in Scorpio. Some people do act like creeps when Mars is in Scorpio. I'm not gonna lie or front, and I'm a Scorpio rising. Hello, like I'll tell you the truth. Okay, people can act a little more creepy when Mars is in Scorpio, meaning they will literally like creep up on you. Like some Mars and Scorpio born people, they will like be the ones that, they will be behind you and watching what you're doing for like a few minutes before they let their presence be known. And then when they're like, hey, you're like, oh, like I didn't even know you were there. And they're like, oh yeah, ha ha ha. Yeah. People with planets or energy in Scorpio can do that. Okay. Because they want to watch and observe you like a fly on the wall, like if they're not even there, and just see what you do, to see the real you. That's why we Scorpios do that. We want to see the real you, like when you don't know we're around. So when Mars is in Scorpio, some people can do that, like kind of creep up and scare people. But anyway, Mars in Scorpio is beautiful energy for going after what you want, who you want, whatever. Just don't be a creep. But it's driven. It's very driven, but it's like slow but sure driven energy. So yeah, Mars will be in Scorpio starting November 19th until January 3rd. So for like a whole month and a half, it'll be in Scorpio. And a lot of people freak out when Mars is in Scorpio and say there will be massacres and murders. You know what? Mars retrograde in Scorpio a few years ago did cause a massacre. I think a couple of massacres. I think the Pulse nightclub in Florida, that was when Mars was in Scorpio, and I think it was retrograde. And Scorpio does rule sexuality and, the organs you use to perform certain acts, let's just say. So when Mars is there can be some more violent acts like that. There's the potential for an increase in that. Let's just say, I don't want to scare everybody and make everybody walk around with like a cup or a chastity belt on and be like, yo, like blocking everybody, like karate kicking everybody away from them. But just be a little more cautious, because it can bring some creepiness out of some, okay? But it's still a beautiful energy. All right. So anyway, Mercury goes direct on the 20th of November. Mercury in Scorpio goes direct. It goes back to 11 degrees of Scorpio, hangs out for a sec, moves forward. But remember, Mercury going direct does not mean you're totally in the clear with mercurial matters. Okay. It means that things will start to become clear over the next couple of weeks after the day Mercury goes direct. So don't listen to anybody posting, hallelujah, Mercury's direct. No, we can celebrate. We can just go off and do all this stuff. Everything's going to be, no. Okay. Listen to your homegirl. I keep it 100. No. All right, so that's on the 20th. On the 22nd, the sun moves into Sag. Yes, eat, drink, and be merry season, right? And be a galloping, never mind. Galloping away, ghosting people. I'm just kidding, kind of. No, but the sun in Sag, celebratory energy. I love Sag energy because it is about celebrating. We do have some holidays, in the US, maybe in other countries and in other cultures, you guys may have some significant holidays during this season to where you celebrate life. You just feel grateful for life itself. Sag energy is very happy-go-lucky, very no worries, very, I'm just happy to be here. Like you don't have to have a rhyme or reason to be happy. And that's because it's ruled by the planet Jupiter, which that's what Jupiter brings, like blessings and happiness and abundance. So Sagittarius energy, when planets are traveling through that sign, like it brings more of that feeling. That's why we're all like trying to celebrate something or another or during that time. Even if there's no holidays or we don't celebrate any holidays, we'll just be feeling that vibe, wanting to get out more, explore more, spend more money, drink more, eat more food, like throw money in the air, mwahaha. Even if it's only like $2 that you have, you'll want to throw it in the air and celebrate and be like, I'm so grateful. So, and some people may be hitting up the casinos a lot more during Sag season. I'm just saying, Sag rules the casinos. And most of the Sages I've known love the motherfucking casino. Okay. Side story. I used to date a Sag a long time ago. The only time I ever dated a Sag seriously and committed, and it was the wildest roller coaster of my life. Felt like I was gonna die when things were very low, and felt like I was just in heaven when things were very high. Very crazy roller coaster of a relationship. Anyway, one time we went with him and his couple family members to the casino, and I guess he had a rich aunt, and she just was sticking $100 bills, like literal $100 bills, sticking them in the machines like they were ones, like $1 bills, $100 bills. And then we walked up like, yo, what's good, what are you guys doing? And she gave us each $100 bill, and we looked at each other, our eyes lit up like, oh my God. So of course, me being the Taurus, I'm like, I want to save this and we can go shopping. We can go on a little trip together. We can do so much with this $100. But what did my Sag boyfriend at the time want to do? Put his $100 in the machine, and I think we lost it all. And then, of course, he took my $100 bill too. Give me that. We're going to gamble this. And I was like, no, oh my God, my Taurus energy is cringing inside. Like, I don't want to flush it down the toilet and cheer. Okay, this is not fun. But no, we lost it all. I think because I'm a Taurus, I snatched some of it away and like, no, give me that. And like, we had like maybe $20 when we left out of 200, you guys. Anyway, Sag energy loves the casino. So hey, stick those hundreds, fives, ones in the machines. Cheer as your money disappears. Okay. All right. So anyway, Sun in Sagittarius on the 22nd until the 21st of December. All right. Okay, so we have a couple other minor aspects. I'll talk about them more in the weeklies. Mars will oppose Uranus. Mars and Scorpio will oppose Uranus in the month of November. It's exact on the 24th of November. So just around that time, be careful with action and movement because there could be sudden, unexpected, weird things that happen. Accidents doesn't have to be vehicle accidents. It could be you just walking around your house and you slip and fall on your bum, and it's like, wow, I didn't even see this toy or this whatever, like bead or something. I didn't expect to slip on something. I don't know. It could be any unexpected action happens. It could be good stuff, but it can also be very accident prone energy. Also on the same day, on the 24th, Venus is conjunct Jupiter. So people may be like a little too like, yay, and like have too much faith and belief in things. And then like some weird things can happen as a result. Or that could be good for love. Ooh, that could be good for love, especially if you're dating and you love just randomness and like meeting random people, new energy, and just feeling so excited about it. Around the 24th is a really good time for you. Or if you're in a relationship, it's a time to kind of explore and do new and exciting, weird and different things with your partner. So on the 25th, excuse me, this is when Venus enters Capricorn. Venus in Cap is not the most fun Venus. I'm just being honest. I know Capricorn people are going to be frowning and saying that's not true and like whatever. Venus in Cap is not the most fun Venus. If you have Venus in Cap in your chart and you're a fun person, you must have some Sag or something else somewhere else. Okay. Venus in Cap itself is not the most fun Venus. I'm just saying she is more about take me to only the top notch places, and I'm going to interrogate you and interview you and ask you what your 5-year plan is. And I'm going to need to know your credit score. And I want to know about your job and your career. It's all seriousness, right? But Venus in Cap, Venus is about value. It's not just about love and fun and enjoyment. It's about value. Venus in Cap values things, like puts things to high value. So when Venus is in Cap, if you are dealing with someone, if you're like dealing with love or whatever, you will definitely feel like your self-worth will increase. You know, maybe it will if you tap into this energy. Your self-worth increases. You feel like I'm worth more than this. I don't deserve anything less than whatever my standards are. Like your standards go higher when Venus is in Cap. So we all may be feeling this to some degree, and that includes with love, that includes with shopping for things. You look for things that are high quality, not just cheap. Oh, well, this is cheap. No, Venus in Cap is not about the cheap. Okay. It's about, well, is this a reasonable price? But also is the quality good? You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people hate him, love him. I really don't give a okay. He's just an interesting person to talk about. But Jeffree Star, if you guys know who Jeffree Star is, he's a makeup guru. Okay. He owns his own company, his own makeup brand. He has Moon and Capricorn. And he's always talking about the quality of the packaging of whatever he buys, makeup, skincare, whatever. If it feels heavy or if it feels light as far as the packaging, he's rating whether or not his Capricorn energy is rating whether or not it's cheap or it's good stuff. If it's heavy, he knows it's made with quality materials. So Venus in Capricorn can act like that too when it comes to love or when it comes to material things. So we all may be a little more bougie, let's just say, when Venus is in Capricorn. But that can be a good thing though. That could be a good thing. So Venus will be in Capricorn starting on November 25th, and she'll be there through December 19th. Okay, and then on the 26th, we have a new moon in Sagittarius here. Okay, new moon in Sag. It's not making any significant aspects to any other outer planets at that time. It makes like an inconjunct to Uranus, which I don't really mess with inconjunctions too much, but I do know that that can be a frustrating and tense aspect. It is a quote unquote negative aspect. So maybe it's not the most jovial new moon, like in new moon in Sag, you'd be like, hooray, happiness and abundance for all, and just all this great energy. Sorry, I'm recording this like real early in the morning. I'm up before my alarm, people. But anyway, it's happy-go-lucky, jovial, blessings, money, and that's what you would think with a new moon in Sag, which, yes, you do want to set intentions for stuff like that. But if there's a tense aspect to Uranus, maybe there could be just something unexpected. Things may not go the way that you planned, or whatever. You may have a surprise along with the new moon. But new moon in Sag in general, it is about opening your eyes to what you should feel grateful for. Gratitude, having more gratitude, just about life in general. And how can you feel abundant even if you're not rich? If lucky Uncle Jupiter didn't throw you a whole bunch of gold coins, like how can you still feel like you do have all those gold coins, or you do have good luck in life? You appreciate your life, so abundance. If you want more of those gold coins, how can you get them? So that's the new moon in Sag, like in general, what you want to try to manifest or set your intentions and focus on. Okay, so the new moon in Sag is on the 26th of November. On the 27th, Neptune goes direct. That means the fog machine is turned back on, people. Okay, fantasy, spirituality, creativity, it's on and popping normally how it usually is with Neptune and Pisces. The 28th, there's a couple of minor aspects. I'll go over them more in detail in the weeklies once again, and how it affects you and your sign in the monthlies that you can order on my website. So Mercury is trine Neptune once again, which I talked about earlier. So it's repeating this same transit from October 15th and November 13th. Okay, so we're revisiting Venus trine Neptune, and then Venus is trine Uranus. So this is good energy once again for like unexpected things, but these are in earth signs, so the surprises may not be so, oh my god, wow, like crazy and wild. Earth energy is very down to earth, literally. So but Venus trine Uranus, this is a minor aspect. Some surprises in love, some surprises with money. There could be a surprise earning of money, surprise receiving of a gift, surprise like all of a sudden you get these ideas about how to make money, more money, something to do with money or love that's a surprise. Okay, that could be like a really good surprise. Let's just say that. Venus trine Uranus. So those happen on the 28th of November. And that's it, you guys. That's your general forecast for the month of November. I know I rambled a lot. I'm getting back into the groove, with my astrology stuff, so I have a lot more to say. So yeah, thank you again for watching. And if you would like a horoscope for your sign, my interpretations of it, go to my website, indigomoon.astrology.com, to the horoscopes page. I'll leave links below for that. And I guess I'll see you guys in the weekly videos, or whatever is the next video that I put out. And don't forget to follow me on Instagrams, where I do occasionally post some astrology stuff too, besides the videos. All right, guys. So have a really good month, and take care. All right. Peace.